do some changes to this Acer Aspire 5551 laptop. The hard drive for the second time is broken, and now this is the third hard drive it needs. Like, I've always heard clicking noises from the first one, so we replaced it with a Western Digital one. The Western Digital one failed a few weeks ago, and I finally got this Seagate 500GB thin hard drive. And the keyboard that is in this laptop right now is not in good condition, so I just got this keyboard for it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna replace out of the two things is the hard drive. Now I'm gonna open the bubble wrap here. Huge bubble wrap. This tamper-proof tape here. And that's our Seagate 500GB thin hard drive. And we can open it. Like this. Okay. And what I've done here, I have removed all power sources from the laptop. There's no battery here. I removed it. So we can get started. So we can use a screwdriver. That's all we need for this replacement. So we're going to unscrew these two screws here. The capacity of the two hard drives are the same, 500GB. Unscrewed it enough. So this is good. So this is the RAM, this is the wireless card. What we need to remove and replace is this hard drive right there. So we're going to get this plastic tab out, which will be handy. And just push and pull. Now, we can't just put the hard drive in simply, because we have to remove these four screws and put the new hard drive in that cage. So I'm gonna remove these four screws, two on each side, right there. That's one screw. And I gotta make sure the hard drive is upside down too. So this is the second screw. This hard drive is dead, so screw. And last but not least, the fourth screw. There we go. Now let's get the new hard drive. Right here, Seagate. Okay, so So this is the Seagate hard drive. You can put it over here for now. You can remove the hard drive that's broken. It's Western Digital 500 gigabyte hard drive. It's dead, so yeah. So now we can put the new hard drive in. So the SATA connector goes this way, so it goes in this way. And since the hard drive is thin, I'll have to make sure that the screws will line up. It's thinner than the other one, so I'm gonna get this screw here. There you go. And there we go. And here. Should have gotten a thicker hard drive, but it'll work. So this is gonna be difficult, but there's one screw. To make life easier, I'll do opposite corners. This is the second screw. Okay, so that's the second screw right there. Now for the third screw. Perfect. And for the last screw. Right there. Ah, perfect fit, even though the hard drive is thinner than the other one. The older one was, I think, 9.5 millimeters, but this one is 7, so it's a bit harder to put in the cage. So I've got the hard drive in the cage. It's snug, so we can put new hard drive in. Perfect. The SATA connectors are firm, and we can put the tab back in. And to secure the cage to the computer itself, we'll screw these two back in. These two screws. One screw and the other one. And just make sure they're tight, and we're done. So now we can move on to the keyboard. So now for the keyboard. You don't, so, oops. You don't need a screwdriver for replacing the keyboard. You will need something flat, like, or thin. Now you have to pry the keyboard out. Now you can use a flathead screwdriver, but it'll take longer. I don't recommend it. I recommend using like a knife. And so it's a new keyboard right here. I made sure it was compatible, and it was. So, and there's also gonna be a connector under the keyboard that we have to make sure that it's not broken, so we can pry the keyboard out. It took me like 15 minutes for me to pry the keyboard out with this flathead screwdriver, but with a knife it took me like less than 5 minutes. It was very quick. So we got the keyboard out, and we can pull out the keyboard, and then there's this connector here. There's this broken arrow key here. That's why I'm replacing the keyboard, because some keys are not working. It's really annoying. So now this connector is secured by this black plastic, and we can push it out of the white contact, and the old keyboard's out. I'm gonna put this over there. So now we can see their computer and the DVD drive. So I'm gonna take the keyboard out, the new one, and I'm gonna just make sure it's the right size, and it is. So now we can connect the keyboard first, obviously. So connector, and we can slide the connector in and push the black tab and put the keyboard. And just before I put the keyboard in snug, I'm just gonna make sure and make sure that the keyboard works. By just going into the BIOS with it. So F2, and it works. So now that I know that the keyboard works, I can exit BIOS, and the hard drive is not formatted yet, but I'll install Windows. So good to know the keyboard works. There, so the computer's off now, and I can tighten the keyboard in. And just push until you feel that the keyboard is snug. So I think it's snug in there. Just pushing just to make sure. I'm just gonna push some of the keys. Some of the keys are not in properly. But by pushing the keys, it'll make sure that they're in. Okay, so the replacement was successful. The enter key works, I know that, at least. The F2 key works for the BIOS. Hope all the other keys work, and I guess that is it. So we replaced the hard drive and keyboard, and now I'll install Windows with the new hard drive. So yeah guys, that is it. See you in the next video.